Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to another Saturday night chat. We're talking about the rules. That's right. I printed them off. 10th edition rules. Gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna paint anything tonight because I want to look through some stuff. Like everybody else, I saw the leaked rules beforehand, but I waited till the official actuals. I meant to hole punch this, and I printed them out black and white, unfortunately, but didn't get around hole punching them. But obviously, we've seen all the people who've gotten, their copies, their advanced copies of Leviathan. We've seen all the cool evening, sir. Gamers with Coffee. Good to see you. You see everybody with their advanced copies of Leviathan. Everybody's gotten new, got the models. You've seen a bunch of battle reports. Games Workshop had their own battle report for 10th edition. I've just been sort of reading through the rules carefully, trying to understand. Obviously, we still don't have the full picture yet, even with all the I got all these tabs open here, even for things like all the cool factions they've shown us, the little glimpses they've given us, and what we've sort of been able to put together. Still a lot of insinuating in there what we may think things may be. We've seen some stat lines for a few things, right? It's looking at, I've been picking up models. I've got my Intercessor, he's Intercessor model. He's my Primaris lieutenant of mine. I've got one of the old school gaunts now that I paint up as Behemoth as a test model there. I've got a Guardsman, right? Just one of the old Catacan models, an old school Dark Eldar that I painted up a while ago. It's not the same as the newer Dark Eldar. And I've actually just been messing about, rolling some dice, trying to figure out what all the rules mean now. Again, we're kind of missing stuff. We don't know the stat lines for a Gaunt or their weapon stat lines yet. We don't know, we know, we know what the Acadian shock troops are like. And we can sort of infer that other guard units may have the same stat line, same weapons. We do know what the Cabalite warriors are like. We've seen at least part of their data slate. They gave us a peek at at what an Intercessor squad stats like. We know from another one, where did it go there? Weapons rules. We know what a bolt rifle can do. There's lots of different little things in there. But obviously, I've been trying to go through the rules bit by bit here and make sure I know. Because again, we have universal special rules again, so that's pretty cool. Trying to go through here, right? All the different things, the universal special rules, things like Mini Warmud. Hello, good to see you, man. I was looking at, where did it go there? The Cabalite warriors, right? There's a whole bunch of the Splinter Cannon, just like this guy here. It's anti-infantry 3+, heavy sustain units 1, or sustain hits 1. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Well, I'm glad it's been put into one section. There's still quite a bit there. It is much simpler though, right? But yeah, no, I've been diving through that. I hope you guys have had a good week. I had a pretty good one. Busy weekend, busy week. Got my daughter and one of my son's dance program tomorrow to go to. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's their end of year thing. But I wanted to just talk about all the cool stuff. Some of the other rules, or not rules, but updates, a whole bunch of Forge World stuff, going Legends, a whole bunch of Horus Heresy stuff going Legends. So it'll get, obviously, some probably free data slates right at the beginning of 10th. Nothing else. I guess they want to keep that stuff in the Heresy, because I guess they want to put new stuff in there, which means a lot. I think one helpful things, I think, especially for Space Marines, is going to free up some space in the Codex, because if you take out a lot of the relic-y stuff right now that they've got in there, there's not a ton of them, but there's a number of them. If they're gone, that makes room for other stuff, like the new units, like the new Dreadnought, like the new Inferno. I want to say Inferno Squad from Leviathan. So obviously they're taking some stuff out. Say, okay, that's the past. That's the Horus Heresy. It stays there. and then it gives them room to put the new stuff in, which I kind of get. At the same time, where to go? They did do a faction focus on Titans, so there is some stuff. I'm assuming, by the looks of it, the big Titans, the Warhounds, the Reavers, even the Squigoth, the giant Squigoth, looks like it's staying. A Warlord Titans there, which I haven't really looked at till right now. I'm looking at it right now. It's disgusting. Wow. I just kind of looked at it now. I haven't looked at it because I've been busy, but you look at that, 100 wounds. I don't think at any point, if you would come talk to me in like 2007, 2008, when I was working Games Workshop the first time, and we were starting to get Apocalypse data slates or data sheets over in the Apocalypse books for these big tanks or these big Titans. Right? It was strictly for Apocalypse. You took these to big games. You didn't take them to a regular game. You didn't. Right? There was nothing like that. It was like, this is like, thousands of points. It's a big thing. It's just for Apocalypse. D weapons everywhere. And like, I think the most damage you got was like strength 10, right? And that was a big. Now we've got like strength 32 weapons, strength 16. Like what is it? The Bellicosa Volcano Cannon is strength 32. The Ardex Defensor Las Cannon is strength 12. Laser Blaster is strength 16. The more Equate Cannon is strength 16. Like attacks like the Apocalypse Launcher that the Warlord Titan has, it's blast, indirect fire. There's a 200-inch range and 20 attacks. I don't even. And you have like the Mori Quake Cannon has a 280-inch range and 3d6 attacks. Oh wow! I just looked at that. That's hello. GWC Ashley, how's it going? Welcome. So I'm just looking at. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm looking at just sort of looking at faction focus. Faction focus for Warlord for Titan units, and I'm just kind of looking at these things, going, man. Let's see here. Like even the Power Claw with a sweep attack has 12 attacks at 8 damage. At strength 12. Even the Warlord feat, my God. The Phantom Titan has 55 wounds. So a little bit on the, but still, like, we have a strength 20 weapon, a strength 18 weapon. You have the Wraithglaive, which is either, depending on strike or sweep, is 18 strength or 8 strength. Oh, man. I gotta say, I do like how they do the damage 1 to whatever wounds remaining, and that's where you start getting your -1s. The Hierophant, 30 wounds, a 5+ invulnerable save. Again, like the Titanic Scything Talons, you get 8 attacks at strength 20, AP -2, damage D6 +1. Ugh. Oh, and their Gargantuan Squigoth. We had one of those. One of my coworkers had a Gargantuan Squigoth back in the day. We called it Muffin. That's what its official name was. I mean, this is like 30 wounds. You have your super cannon with frag or shell, the huge tusks, which is lance. What does lance do? Weapons with lance or profiles are known as lance weapons. Each time attack made with such a weapon, if the bearer made a charge move, add 1 to. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So it's got the huge tusks. It's a strike. It's 6 attacks lance, so it means you add +1 to attack's wound roll. It's strength 14, AP -3, so it's wounding on the 2s, and you get to add plus. Okay. And you get a huge tusk sweep, which is 18 attacks. Man, these things are nasty. And the Tau Manta there, although I don't really call that Titan. I don't know. I guess they're big enough, right? Oh, so I'm assuming you guys have seen the rules by now. What do you guys think? Those of you here, what do you guys think? Are they Are they what you thought they'd be? Are they simplified but not simple? Do you like them better than 8th and 9th? What do you guys think? I mean, I'm still been reading through them, especially the weapons abilities, because everything else is still pretty much kind of the same as the last editions. Obviously, again, things have been simplified a bit, right? Obviously, got to relearn when we get the data sets for armies, relearn how our armies work, what special abilities they have. All right, because I mean, like for this guy, right? This guy was a regular intercessor. Those bolt rifles now assault heavy, right? Which means he can advance and still fire 2 attacks at 24-inch range, or if he stands still, he gets to add +1 to his attack hit roll. So all of a sudden, technically, he's ballistic skill 2+ with that, right? So at 24 inches, you're kind of, I don't know. Does that mean we're gonna stop seeing the stalker pattern bolt rifle and the assault bolt rifle or the auto bolt rifle, because now the bolt rifle does sort of all of it, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Or am I just talking on my butt? But yeah, lots of craziness right now, and I'm just looking at this the Titan stuff here. Right, the Manta, like the heavy rail cannon, is 26 strength. I don't even like, if you look at the toughness of most of these things. I mean, even the Warlord Titan is only toughness 16. Like, and its strength, like, Manta's got a weapon that's strength 26, and the Warlord Titans only got toughness 16. Well, you're not double that. You're going to be wounding at least a 3+ against that thing, right? And I mean, even the Warlord Titan's got a 5+ moral save against range attacks only, right? Again, the Phantom Titan has a 4+ moral save against range attacks only. Hierophant has a 5+ invulnerable save. The Giant Squiggoth doesn't, although it's 3+ armor save. The Manta has a 5+ invulnerable save. All right, and then, although it's funny, the melee weapon, the melee, however you want to say, weapon for the Manta is the Armored Hull. Basically means that in order for this thing to fight, it's just ramming through stuff. Again, but it's AP 0, so the strength 6. So that's all it. So I mean, this thing could hit a unit of intercessors, and they could come out rather unscathed. It's only wounding a 3+, no AP, weapon skill 5, so may actually even miss. Oh, if that isn't Tau, I don't know what is. We're gonna ram you the Giant Manta, and we could miss. That's unique. That's what that is. That's unique. That is cool. But yeah, no, I don't know about you guys, but I've been trying to just dive through and figure out stuff. I've been rolling some dice here. I'm actually thinking of doing my own mini battle report for this. With just a squad of the Assault Intercessors versus a squad of Cablite Warriors, just to mess around with it, right? A lot of it stayed very much the same as the last editions. A lot of it, obviously, getting Universal Special Rules back. There's going to have to be some remembering there. I'm excited. I know there was some sort of schedule, which they seem to have kept to. We've gotten the new rules, the core rules set on the 2nd, as schedule did. So I think it's sometime next week we'll be getting the at least the Leviathan data sheets, and then sometime also next week I think we're going to get the Space Marine data sheets. So we'll probably see the whole Space Marine Codex in a very, very simple form. Probably just the rules, and obviously no fluff, just the rules. I don't know if that's going to be I don't know what one of the things that kind of confused me is they did have a faction focus on Space Marines, and then they had another one on the Space Marine chapters, but they did include the Ultramarines in there. So, are we to assume then that the rules for Ultramarines are going to be in the Space Marine Codex. It's kind of hard to say because it looks like I'm going to Space Marine chapters here. There are going to be rules for there's detachment for the Dark Angels, but it gives them Grim Resolve. There's where is it? The Space Schools get deeds worthy of Saga. All right, so a bunch of they have the Saga of Majesty, Saga of the Bear, Saga of the Warrior Born, or Saga of the Beast Slayer. Different sagas you can use. At the end of the battle round, you can select one of the sagas listed below. The saga is completed in your army during the battle round. All Adeptus Astartes models from your army gain the associated benefit until the end of battle. Only saga each. Okay, so that's cool. Right, the Hounds of Mordecai there. Right, the Blood Angels have the Sons of Sanguinius, the Red Thirst. Wow, that's pretty cool. Each time an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is selected to fight, if that unit made a charge move this turn until the end of the phase, add 1 to strength and attack characteristics of melee weapons equipped. Right, so yeah, you know, and you got the Death Company Intercessor. So if they start a Chainsword, that's 4 attacks. So you'd have 5 attacks to strength 5 to turn a charge. That's pretty cool. Now again, the faction is Oath of the Moment. They have Black Rage, Witch of Heresy. Black Templars have their Vows. I started first battle. It's like one of 4 Templar Templar Vows below to be active for Adeptus Astartes units for your army to the end of the battle. So they have Suffer Not the Unclean to Live, melee weapons equipped with models, so you have lethal hits ability, uphold the honor of the Emperor. I like the fact that their vows are back. This is something you could take way back in like 4th edition. So this is really cool. Model ability of the Feel No Pain and leadership characteristic of 5+. Abhor the Witch. Models this unit have a 4+ invulnerable save. Wow. Against psychic attacks and melee weapons equipped with models, you have the anti-psych or 4+ ability. Wow, that's cool. Accept the challenge no matter odds. Melee weapons equipped by models this unit have the sustained hits ability. Sustained hits 1 ability. That one's cool. If you don't know what that is, basically every time you roll a 6 or critical hit with an attack, you get an extra attack equal to whatever the number next to so sustained hits 1. So if you, for instance, have a Black Templar with Astartes Chainsword, he has 4 attacks, say all 4 hit, but 2 of them are 6s. You get an extra attack or an extra hit on each one, so you'd end up with 6 hits instead of 4 from that one model. So that's pretty cool. And they have the Death Watch ones. They have the different mission tactics. So you have Furor tactics and Malleus tactics and Pregatus tactics. So you select one of the mission tactics at the beginning of your command phase and start your next command phase. That mission tactic is active. Its effects apply to all units from army with this ability. Each mission tactic will be selected once per battle. Again, so Furor tactics gives sustained hits 1. Malleus tactics is lethal hits. And Pregatus, you get precision. Now, what is precision? I haven't read that one yet. I'm just going to look through precision. Okay. Weapons are known as... Okay. Okay, so it's, precision is when targeting attached unit, the attacking mouse player can have the attack allocated to the character model that usable if that unit in that unit visible the bearer. So basically, with precision weapons, if you have an attached unit, which is now basically a leader model with a bodyguard unit, as I've called it, normally you can't really target that leader. This allows you to. All right, so if you have, say, Death Watch veterans with a, what's he got? With, say, his frag cannon. Or even better, let's look at here. An Furnace Heavy Bolter, and he's firing, he's got the Heavy Bolter, right? Heavy, sustained hits 1, and then you use that one as precision. You can actually be like firing your Heavy Bolter directly targeting a character. You get those 3 hits, could be more. Gets 3 attacks, could be more hits. Strength 5, AP -1, 2 damage. So yeah, that's something pretty epic. But yeah, so that's sort of I've been doing. Man, there's a lot of cool stuff here. Sorry, guys. I just been going through this stuff. But yeah, lots of cool stuff here. But yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm liking the rules. I like the way that they've been brought out now. They do seem a bit simpler. I like the fact that they've really gone into depth about determining visibility, because that was always a bit of a touch and go subject over the years, right? So you have to be able to, because I mean, over the years, certain models, like what was the big joke with Night Lords, the big, bat wings coming off their helmets, right? This huge bat wing coming off your helmet. You're not really very what's the word I'm looking for? You're not really exactly, subtle when you have these giant red bat wings coming off your helmet, right? So that was definitely and that was a fight. Sometimes you'd have these units that were in cover, not visible, but you could clearly see a banner or a weapon or a helmet, right? So again, it was kind of determined on, people like, oh, I can see him, can see helmets. Well, no, you can't actually see him. You actually have to be able to see the body, or you have to be able to see a full arm or something. So they've even shown things, how things can be seen, right? Right. They have things like a model is visible if you can see most of it, a unit visible. So if you have a unit, and the picture they have is a squad of those 5 Infernus Marines now, that squad. 4 of them are invisible, but one are not visible. One is, so the whole unit is now visible, right? So I like that, right? Your roll-offs, they're saying, things like there's not going to be so many rerolls. And from what I've seen, there are, but definitely not as many. Rerolling was something like everybody did. So it's really cool to see this, like all the transport stuff, destroy transports, right? Your emergency disembark, which is pretty cool. Emergency disembarkation, which causes mortal wounds. So there's no real way of surviving fully if your vehicle explodes. There's so many cool things. Very simple now. Feel no pain. It's good to have feel no pain back, because I think that was a boost to certain armies. I'm glad it's back, because you had this disgusting resilience. And again, if you feel no pain, very simple. You have feel no pain X now. Feel no pain used to be, I think it was like a 5+, right? Or a 6+ save back in the day. You just, oh man, I took that wound. Oh, feel no pain, I'm good. Now it's feel no pain X. So if you roll something, whatever that X may be, you don't take that wound. I mean, some of the things like torrent weapons, all flamer weapons are going to be torrent weapons now. You ignore cover. Pistol, you can still shoot in close combat, or what is it called? Engagement range, right? Assault weapons, rapid fire. I do like the fact that torrent isn't ignore cover. Torrent is automatically hit. See? Gotta read the rules. Ignore cover still allows you to ignore cover. Torrent is the automatic hitting, because it's just a blast of whatever energy. It's something you can't really avoid. But what was it? Where did that go? Devastating wounds. What was I looking for there? I even hurt my own brain on that one. That's heavy. I like the fact that heavy, I think I said this before, has now gone from sort of being a punishing thing, where if you're heavy, you couldn't shoot back in the day, or you was a -1 to, actually, if you move with those heavy bolters, I have that Devastator squad full of heavy bolters, I'm not actually going to be losing out. Now, I did see, I want to see something there, because look at the splinter cannon. I was just looking at this. I just noticed this, and I'm going to use the Cowboy War as an example. That might be not true for other people, but looks like the splinter cannon is actually and also Dark Lance is hitting on a 4+. So I guess they've already sort of, looks like I may be not liking heavy as much as I thought it was. So it looks like heavy weapons may actually be hitting on a 4+ now. I guess maybe sort of helping indicate that they are a bit more cumbersome to move around. And if you stand still and you get a +1, so you're hitting on a 3+ like normal. So if I'm just gonna look in here, yeah, cane shock troops don't have any heavy weapons. Let's see here. Yeah, looks like Baneblade's hitting on 4+ on everything. That's kind of weird. I'm just trying to see what's going on here. Now, again, this could be because they're Cab-Light Warriors and not Space Marines. It might be different for Space Marines because it looks like the bolt rifle is assault heavy, but it's still ballistic skill 3+. So it would be adding that +1 to the attack roll. So if I roll 2, it becomes a 3. So that is a beneficial there. But yeah, look, I do like the fact that if you don't move, you still, obviously, I guess maybe there is a slight penalty now. Again, I'm not sure. I'd have to see some other heavy weapon options somewhere. But we'll never know, right? I don't know. Guard, I'm looking at the guard stuff here. And what they show us is it looks like every single weapon. I'm looking at the Baneblade is all hitting on 4+ on everything except for the Twin Heavy Flamer. Yeah, the Acadian shock troops don't actually have any heavy weapons in there, so that's not the best. See, this is why it pays to read the rules. But yeah, so if heavy weapons are hitting on a 4+, what I should do, yeah. Just gonna look here and see what the Chaos Space Marine one has to say, because I believe the listing in there, Legionnaires did have. Let's see here. Bolt gun. No, they have the Havoc autocannon, which is heavy, but it's hitting on a 3+. So, So I don't know. The Legionaries one has the heavy autocannon, or the Havoc autocannon, which is heavy, but it is sitting at 3+. So maybe that -1 or that 4+ hit on heavy weapons is for the, quote unquote, more fragile species. I kind of want to see some of these other things. And I should take a look, because I kind of want to make sure I'm not barking up the wrong tree here. Let's take the Adeptus Sororitas and see what they have to say about it. See if they have a unit with heavy weapons in here. Triumph of St. Catherine, Battle Sister Squad. Let's see here. Multi-Melta. Yeah, see, it's heavy, and it's a 4+ on them. So it could be that heavy weapons are hitting on a 4+ for anybody but Space Marines. I could be wrong, but let's see here. Let's check another one here. Because I seem to be seeing a pattern here. And thankfully I play Space Marine, so it may not be such a horrible thing. Let's see. Let's look at the Space Marine chapters one here. See if that. Let's see what heavy weapons they've got here. Plasma cannon, which I guess is a heavy weapon. It's we're hitting on 3+. The Hounds of Mordecai don't have heavy weapons. They do have the heavy Mordecai bolt pistols, so that's cool. So again, from that we infer that because Hounds of Mordecai, they have a heavy bolt pistol, it is 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, AP -1 damage. So it's probably a good chance that the bolt pistols of your intercessors or your assault intercessors are probably the same thing. I'm just trying to see what we got here. A heavy bolt pistol. There it is, heavy bolt pistol, yeah. I'm just trying to see if there's any other heavy weapons here. Okay, so Infernus Heavy Bolter is hitting, oh, there you go, on a 4+. Long Vigil ranged weapon, it's also, that's hitting a 4+. The Frag Launcher is hitting on a 4+. Okay, so I guess, again, it could be that maybe certain ones, I don't know. Again, this could be, I could be worrying myself over nothing here. But yeah, So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Someone say something, please. I know I'm having fun with it though. And the way everything works, like the fact that there's terrain features in here as well. So you kind of get some special rules, because like barricades and fuel pipes. There's, they do mention stuff about engagement range in there, so we kind of know what's going on. Battlefield debris and statuary, which I have some of. Hills, industrial structures, sealed buildings, and armored containers have their own thing. And they have keywords they have keywords like obstacle, battlefield debris, hills, industrial containers, sealed buildings have the keyword hill. So let's see if we'll see in the long run if there's stuff that may, and then ruins have things like plunging fire. So if you're these time model is wholly within the terrain feature, makes a ranged attack. The model 6 inches or more vertically from ground level, and every model target unit is at ground level. Improve the armor penetration. That's cool. Plunging fire is nice. That's pretty cool. So if you're up on, so you have a squad of intercessors, right? It's already AP -1. You're up 6 inches high, and there's a whole enemy unit below you 6 inches down, and the whole unit's on the ground. Well, now those bolter rifles are at AP -2 for that shooting. That's cool. Stuff for movement, footprints, example battlefields are pretty cool. That was another interesting thing. It looks like there's a little bit more terrain on these tables now than last couple editions. There seemed to be put down a bit more terrain. I remember reading stuff in there about how how to set up your table, how a table could give an advantage on that one here. A battlefield with fewer terrain features than this will afford units no way to gain protection from range attacks, so will give a strong advantage to armies that rely on shooting, while disadvantaging armies that rely on melee. So they're actually sort of mentioning something that I've mentioned in the last couple editions. I didn't think there was enough terrain on the table. There wasn't enough unique. The tables just seemed way too open, which I think obviously has always given advantage to ranged armies. You want your armies to have some fire lines, have some defensive lines. You don't want to inadvertently give one army an advantage, and people will do their very best to take advantage of that. I've seen it whenever I try to set up a table, whenever I've had to, for whatever reason, was to try to make it tell a bit of a story, because I'm a big, I'm a fluff fanatic. I always like to tell a story, but I also like to make it unique so that no army can really have a clear advantage. It isn't so, covered in terrain that ranged armies all of a sudden have difficulty. At the same time, it's not too open so that, like I said, close combat oriented armies get blown to pieces before they ever get there. Mustering army is pretty cool because it starts at the incursion, so it starts 1,000 points. So basically, like they're saying, those combat patrol stuff is going to be an even more sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, toned down in terms of even less rules than or not less rules, but even more simplified than this. And that's going to be around the 500. Hello, Mr. Fish. Who's the Zaga? How's it going, man? I'm glad to have you here. Just been muttering on to myself about 10th edition, all the cool stuff. I'm just talking about mustering army. I printed off the rules here. I mean, obviously, I'm sure like you did, you saw the leaked version. This is pretty much the same version, but I waited for it to come out. But yeah, so you select your battle size. So it really starts at 1,000 points. So anything lower than that, maybe going to that the combat patrol version, right? And then you say, it could last up to 2 hours. I'm so excited. Yeah, I know. I'm excited too. I was saying earlier, like I've been looking at models, right? I've got my intercessor, my intercessor model made up as Primaris. Got an old Gaunt here, a guardsman and an old Drakari Cowboy Warrior. but we don't have really points. We don't have even a lot of the stats yet. We can sort of infer some stuff looking at what they have sent us. But yeah. And then Onslaught's 3 hours, and Strike Force goes up to 4 hours is 3,000 points, and Strike Force is 2,000 points, and up to 3 hours. And then you get your roster. Apparently, they're going to have free roster sheets. And select attachment, select units. Again, that one's cool. So you have to have, let's see here. Normally, so again, you can only have up to 3 of any unit other than battle line, where you have 6, or you can have up to 6 battle line units and 6 transfer for them, right? Again, it looks like relics are gone. We have enhancements now, and then you have your epic heroes. So depending on what army you take, if only one guy's school, right? Declare battle formations. Yeah, and then the warlord trait, which is a bit different now, obviously, creating your battlefields and having that first, right, to determine the victor. Your objectives. I'm still reading through all this stuff, and then the minimum battle size. So a lot of it stayed the same. A lot of it has changed. I know. I'm pretty excited. How about you, Mr. Fish? You said you're excited. I think they've done a good job with these rules. I also meant to. They're black and white. I also meant to 3-hole punch this and put it in something, but that'll have to wait. Of course, we've seen the armies in action now. There's been lots of people who've shown off the sets, who've shown off their games. They've had their own battle reports. Games Workshop had theirs. So, but so it's been cool to see. Big 3 I need of those who get leader keyword. Who gets battlefield now? Knobs and commandos in the battle line. Who gets lone operative? Well, if I saw lone operative here, so leader keyword is probably going to be anybody who's an HQ choice. I have a feeling that's just going to be the way it is. I saw the lone operative thing here. I just need lone operative. So here we go. So yeah, the leader keyword will probably be any one of your HQ choices and your epic heroes. Epic heroes are basically what we used to call, named characters back in the day. Battle line will probably be your troop choices. Judging by what we saw in those little graphics he did for Space Marines, it looks like the Terminators will not be battle line. Your intercessor squads, a solid intercessor, tactical will probably be battle line. I think anything that's a troop choice, as of these new data slates, will be battle line. And lone operative, where is it? Unless it's got it right here. Unless part of an attached unit, see leader page 9. This unit can only be selected as a target, as the target of a ranged attack. The attacker model is within 12 inches, right? So I think the lone operative. We'll go to page 39, won't we? I think any sort of character will be a lone operative. All right, here we go. Leader. Some characters have the leader unit. Leader listed on their data sheet. Such characters known as leaders and units they can lead, known as body units, are listed on the data sheet. During declare battle formation, each leader of your army. If your army also includes one more leader's body units, you can select one of those body units. The leader will then attach a body unit for the duration of the battle. It's said to be leading the unit. But yeah, so there's attacks cannot be allocated character models in attached units. So I would assume probably not going to be every character. I don't think, for instance, someone as big as Gaz will get a lone operative thing. He'll probably be a leader, but lone operative is basically pistol range stealth, but not minions. Yeah, again, it also says they'll have a list of what you can get attached to. So I have a feeling in terms of, say, something like orcs, depending on what your leader is, obviously it's going to change around for Space Marines. I could see, a Reaver Lieutenant being able to go with Reavers or Marines in the Phobos armor and probably not running around with, say, assault intercessors or intercessors, right? It could be, I mean, I don't know if that could go with that may how they separate, firstborn and Primaris, even though they've done away with those keywords. It's just Adeptus Astartes now. We could see the potential of, a Primaris captain not going with like a tactical squad, or a regular captain not going with a Primaris unit. I don't know. I'm just, again, until we see everything, it's all just sort of conjecture and guessing. It's it's good guessing, but it's guessing, right? I mean, I've been rolling some dice. I've kind of had to infer what, say, if I have a unit of 5 assault intercessors, I know the Astartes chainsword gives you 4 attacks. We've seen that in a lot of the data slates that they put out. It's 4 attacks, 3 hitting on 3+, strength 4, AP -1 damage. What about the heavy bolt pistol? I haven't seen that in that data set yet, but I've seen it in other units. So I could assume that they would have but again, they had a different heavy bolt pistol than other people. So I could assume it's going to be a pistol weapon that's strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. So again, at the same time, I got one of my old Drukhari here. We know a lot about what they are. I was going about like heavy weapons because that's kind of all over the place. They look at heavy weapons like this guy's hitting on a 4+, but heavy, if you stand still, you get to add +1 to your hit roll. So tactically, he's hitting on a 3+. And we show some units where, like the Legionaries, they have their heavy autocannon. It's hitting a 3+. But then you look at I was just looking at Deathwatch veterans, and they have a heavy bolter, but it's hitting on a 4+, right? So either they've just sort of put information and kind of quick into those just to get them out, or depending on what you are, right? Like the bolt rifle is heavy assault. So it can either fire assault weapons, so you can roll your advanced rolls and still shoot as Space Marine should, or you can stand there and blast away at 24 inches with the 2 shots and get that +1. So basically you're hitting on a 2+ at that point. It makes it very easy for you to hit at that range, right? Well, I think they may have downed the range of these, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to look at that quickly. I'm pretty sure I saw it was 24 inches. It used to be 30 inches before. So maybe Joust, maybe they've messed around with it. I'm gonna take a look at that. There's something in there about, where did that go? Weapon lethality. Yeah, it's 24-inch range. I thought it was 30 inches right now. Again, that could be something that they've pared down. I don't know what bolters are going to be like. If we look at some of the other ones, like the Sisters, bolters are still bolters. So I started blasting. Yeah. So anyways, I started blasting. But yeah, actually, that's a good one. I should probably look at that and see what they sort of get a general view. If we look at, there's some agents appearing. This one I got to first. Bolt pistol. Bolt pistol is still. Let's see here. Melt-a-gun. Son of a gun. Come on, someone show me both. So I look at the Adeptus it has here. Past the Triumph St. Catherine. Bolt gun. Rapid fire 1. Yeah, 24-inch. 1 attack. 3+4. Okay, so that looks like it's the same. Again, they may be tweaking things for each sort of different. Grey Knights, that's not what I wanted. That's the wrong one. Let's see here if I go to Chaos Space Marines, because the Legionnaires are about as close as we can see for Tactical Marines at the moment. Bolt gun. So this one's weird because it says bolt gun, but it doesn't have anything next to it. It's just 24-inch strength 2, or 2 attacks, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. So it's not even rapid fire, just 2 shots all the time. So I'm thinking some of these may be faulty. That's the other thing. So I go to, say, Grey Knights. Let's take a look at their bolt or their Storm Bolter. Yeah, see, Storm Bolter says rapid fire too. So I don't know. Again, does a Space Marine Bolter have 2 attacks now, as opposed to just 1? Is that to represent their ability to fire with more effect than, say, a Sister would have? I mean, I like the fact that the bolt rifle is assault heavy. That makes sense because that's what Marines are supposed to be able to do. And then so I started blasting. Yeah, I don't know. And for orcs, I mean, look at the orc one. Do they do orcs? Where's the orcs? Do they not do orcs? There's orcs. It's like, we cannot do orcs, man. Orcs are like the staple of one of the staples of 40K. You cannot tell a proper 40K story without orcs. They're like, you just can't. I think some of my favorite stories, and in even the funniest ways and the most serious ways, are orcs, right? So you got your beast snagga boys. So you get your slugga and your thump gun, which is a blast. Well, that's not very good. Which is good. Your choppa. So yeah, so you have your choppa, which is 3 attacks. I do like the fact that they're toughness 5 now, and with their choppa, they're strength 5. I like that. And AP -1. See, this cool thing, if you go way back to like third ed, choppas were one of this cool weapon where you didn't it wasn't like a power weapon. It was like you don't get a save. I think this was the first time that in the game where there was a little bit of modification. There was up till like 7th edition. It was very, very rare, or 8th edition, very rare to have any sort of -1s. But choppas, you can only ever get like a 4+ armor save just because you're getting hit with like a giant chunk of like just a giant meat cleaver. Right, so even their close combo weapon strength 5, right? And you get your power snappa, which is strength 7. That hurts. And you've got Gazgul Thraka here. So I'm just trying to see here. And he's got Mork's Roar, which is rapid fire 4, which it's got 12 attacks. That's gonna hurt. Oh, that guy can like. That's one of the other things that I've found really interesting. Num orcs. Yeah, orcs. I mean, hell, man. I had a small orc army at one point, but the best stories are orcs. I just gotta look up that rapid fire again because rapid fire still throws me for a loop with all these numbers. And I just have to get used to that. So rapid fire. Remember correctly here. Let's read that. When rapid fire acts in a profile, no rapid weapons. Each time a weapon targets a unit with half range, the attack character of the weapon is increased by the amount denoted by X. Example, a model targets a unit that is within half range. The weapon has attack characteristic of 1 and rapid fire 1 ability. The weapon therefore makes 2 attacks to target, and you make 2 hit rolls. So increase attacks by X when targeting units half range. So for Mr. Thraka here with his Mork's Roar with rapid fire 4, it's half range. So his Mork's Roar is a range of 36 inches. So oh man, so like 18 inches, he's got 12 attacks plus rapid fire 4, so he gets 4 more attacks to it. So he will have 16 attacks at 18 inches. Owie. And he's got 4+ from roll save, and Makari has a 2+. Although you cannot re-roll vulnerable saves thrown made against Makari. That's pretty cool. Makari is pretty cool though. 1 wound. I like Thraka. I was gonna say, well, I got into the rapid thing. Looking at some of these heroes like Thraka. What was another one? If I go back to hell, even Space Marines, so they show off. I guess to answer my question, I guess Ultramarines will be thrown in with with the Space Marine, but I mean, he's got the Hand of Dominion range weapon. That's rapid fire 2, so he gets 4 attacks at 15 inches. But the Emperor's Sword, he's got 14 attacks. And he's got 7 with the Hand of Dominion. Again, you only select 1, but again, it gives you that nice tactical option. Well, I'm going to go up against like something big. I'll need that 7 attacks at strength 14. Or, if I have to wipe out a unit by myself, he can do that. I just love these heroes can actually do that again. There was a time when, we'll call them, they are these epic heroes, whether they were, named characters back in the day, whatever you want to call it, special characters. They could absolutely devastate units by themselves. It seemed to disappear in the last couple editions, but now, I mean, man, like 14 attacks of strength 8, AP minus 3. He's cutting through pretty much everything. All right. Let's go to the Tyranid one. Let's see what they got in there. I think they had the Brood Lord in there. Or the Swarm Lord. He's got the Synaptic Pulse. Or the Bone Saver. He's got 8 attacks, Twin Link, so he's re-rolling wounds, I believe, with Twin Link. Is it now? I think that's what they did with it. We still got 8 attacks, at strength 9. Again, like I don't want to say it's Hero Hammer. So I don't really think it's Hero Hammer yet, but they've really. Let's look at Abaddon. Yeah, he's got 14 attacks of the hands of the Talon of Hortus. Right, so 14 attacks. Again, this guy could rush in and wipe out most units. Like, might have a bit of trouble fully wiping out, say, a unit of like intercessors because there's 20 wounds there. But he runs up with the Talons of Horus just to shoot, and it's. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. 12 rapid fire 4. Yeah, exactly. So he's getting 16 shots, that Mr. Thraka there. Again, it's kind of, God, what else? Let's take a look at some of the other, what else we got here? Okay, Drukhari, because I have a Drukhari army, a fledgling one. So let's take a look at that, see where that's left us. I know they had a character in there. So eyes are bothering me. I'm tired. Let's see here. Yeah, Lilith's Blades. So Lilith Hesbrax. So she's what do they have here? Once her battle Lilith can put on a thrilling spectacle, which increases the number of attacks she makes up to 12. She makes 212, increase her invulnerability save to 3+, turning into her blender, a living blender of untouchable blades. So yeah, if she does that like once per battle, she's already got 8 attacks at strength 3, AP minus 2. It's anti-infantry 2 and sustained hits 2. So anti-infantry 2 means that if she's rolling a hit on a basically 2+, it's a critical hit. She's pretty much auto wounding you. So strength 3 doesn't really matter. And sustained hits. Let's go back in the rules because I still don't remember what sustained hits does. I think that adds extra hits. Let's see here. Sustained hits. Direct fire. Yeah, sustained hits. Okay. Oh, man, that's nasty. Okay, because this goes with her anti-infantry. So anti-infantry, an unmodified rune roll of X against a target with a matching keyword scores a critical wound. So... Okay, so it's not on the hits, it's on the wound. So she is anti-infantry 2+. So in her attack with main anti-infantry 2+ attack will score a critical wound against, and so successful wound of a infantry unit on a unmodified wound of a 2+. So she hits those attacks, a weapon skill 2. So she's hitting on 2s. She's anti-infantry, so she rolls to wound. The strength doesn't matter. She's got a 2+, so she rolls a 2 or better. It's a critical hit and therefore an automatic wound. And she's got sustained hits. So a model makes attack with a melee weapon with sustained hits 2, like she does. Ability, if the hit rolls an unmodified 6, then attack scores And that attack scores 3 hits to target, 1 for the successful hit of 6, and 2 from the sustained hits too. Oh man! So any 6s she roll, she gets basically another 2 hits. So if she rolled up those 8 attacks or 12, if she uses the Thrilling Spectacle, and say 6 of them or 10 of them hit, and there's 4 6s, you've got those 10 hits plus another 2, 4, 6, 8. If I'm doing that correctly, I think my math is right on that. Sustained hits too. Yep, exploding crits. Exactly. So yeah, sustained hits too. So every one hit. So if she got, say, like 4 6s, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So she could have, do 12 attacks and still come away with a lot more. Oh God, Lord. Oh man, that's gonna hurt a lot. So again, imagine her putting out, getting 12 attacks, and even with missing a couple, still putting out like 18 hits. You know what I mean? And then of course, all those hits are now going to be auto wounding on a 2+. So there's a whole other unit just devastated, right? I think they're all like that in one way or shape or another. I haven't even looked at some of these things. I've done a quick look over here. God, let's look at the Necrons. That's another popular one people like to play. Reanimation Protocols are pretty cool. Monolith, Necron Warriors. Again, lethal hits, rapid fire 1 on the Flare, hitting on 4+. And then you got, but their numbers, Legion, Doomsday Cannon. Like Spear the Void Dragon, you have Strike, which is anti-vehicle 2+. He's got 5 attacks, strength 12, AP -3, D6 +2 damage. So he's doing at least 3 damage on those attacks. And then you have the Sweep with the Spear of the Void Dragon. Again, 10 attacks, weapon skill 3+, strength 8, AP -1. Like most things, strength 8, you're doubling. It doesn't matter if you're a spaceman. Again, if he attacks the orcs, he's wounding on a 3+. If he's saying attacking a guardsman, he's wounding on a 2+. 10 attacks, 2 damage each. He's wiping through units. I do like the fact that there's sort of like a bit of your a bit of a hero hammer again. That was sort of a thing back in the day where you could have a hero, an epic hero, just rip through squads left, right, and center and have no problem doing it, because that's what they're supposed to do. There, I think that kind of disappeared in the last couple editions, like I said. What's another good one here? Let's look at everyone's favorite unit, your favorite army to hate, the Teu. Remember the day you slaughtered the Teu? Drones as markers. That's weird. That is weird. I wonder if they have drones as guard. That's basically markers now. So does that mean they're going to get rid of drone units? Don't know. Let's see here. They've got the pulse car, the rail rifle. Again, there's a heavy thing. So they're hitting on a 5+ ballistic skill for some of these things. That's the iron rifle. Okay, so the pulse carbine, their pulse pistol, and their grenade launchers are all hitting on a 4+. It looks like anything, the drone burst cannons a 5+. And all their heavy weapons are hitting on a 5+. So the pulse, the rail rifle, which is devastating wounds and heavy, it's hitting on a 5+. They stand still, you're hitting a 4+. Pulse carbine. They got a lot of cool stuff here, but recon drone, pulse accelerator drone, grav inhibitor drone. Man, again, you want to. So I guess heavy weapons for certain units and certain armies will actually make you roll worse if you have them. Again, we'll have to see what happens with Space Marines, because it's been kind of all over the place. Even again, looking at the stat lines for Bolter, the Sisters have a rapid fire 1 and 1 attack. Looks like the Legionaries have 2 attacks, but you don't see any rapid fire next to it. I do love shenanigans. The shenanigans are fun. There's nothing wrong with having some shenanigans. Yeah, no, I'm just it's that's what I've been doing for the last while. I've been slowly painting up those Chaos Space Marines. I call them Murder Curse Marines because I'm going to be using the Chaos Space Marine rules for them as legionaries. But it's I'm again going back to what I did in the last live stream, being inspired by the Angron Murder Curse story of him basically turning 9/10 of one of the Indominus Crusade fleets into basically just savage, corn-loving, murder-lusting psychopaths. All right. Yeah, this is crazy. I don't know, man. Let's take out the Eldari. See what we're going to do with Eldari. Because I do have an Eldari army. I do have a mix. I don't know. I want to see what they do with the Inari stuff so I can move them together. Farseers. Singing Spirit does exactly what I expected to. Strength 9. That's kind of hasn't changed much. 6+ save. 4+ invulnerable save. Guardian, Defenders. Shuriken. Now. Again, it's kind of weird to see. So they have the Eldari missile launcher, which is on their platform. So again, it's hitting a 3+. It doesn't say heavy. It is, I guess, a support weapon. But I do have a star can on there, but it's still hitting a 3+. It doesn't say heavy next to it. So again, that's kind of one of the weird things, these little things that are popping up here and there, and the little gremlins and the rules of what's going to do what and what is actually heavy and what's not. Because that's kind of an important thing to know. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Space Marine chapter. See what some of these characters do, because they did have, the lion here. So he's got, he's got fealty. So strike is 8 attacks, or fealty sweep. He's got 16 attacks. Man, again, like he just decides, okay, I'm going to walk into this unit of orcs and just have 16 attacks and like wipe out a unit. Oh, there's some guardsmen over there, or God knows what, some Tau, and just rip right through them. Right? Ugh. We got Space Wolves, the Hounds of Mordecai. Again, they haven't really changed much stat wise. I mean, the Hounds of Mordecai have a 6-inch move, toughness 4, 3+ armor save, 2 wounds, leadership 6+. The OC 1. Again, these guys aren't really objective holders. Blood Angels. Again, they show Death Company Intercessors. They only have an OC1. Again, they're not really an objective capturing unit. They're more of a go in and tear stuff apart unit. Thunderhammer. Yeah, see, Thunderhammer is hitting on a 4+. Again, that was normally a weapon that takes a while. Power Fist is hitting on a 3+. Sorry, Chainsword with 4 attacks. Power Up with 4 attacks. Strength 5. Oh, that's cool. Bolt Rifle, Hand Flamer. Let's see, the bolt rifle they have here doesn't have heavy or assault next to the name, but it's 24-inch. So I guess they kind of cut that down. And Gabriel Seth, he's got his bolt pistol and the Blood Reaver. 6 attacks, 6 hits, 16 hits, 1. Weapon skill 2+. War Gear 9. Oh, here we go. So yeah, so I'm looking at leader. Oh, I should look at that. Did they have that for? Johnson? They don't show what he can be a leader of. Let's take a look at. I have a feeling these cards are going to be double-sided when we actually get the actual card, just because they have both sides. So here, Gabriel Seth can be attacked to. We were talking about leaders before. This model can be attached to the following units: Assault Squad, Command Squad, Tactical Squad, or Vanguard Veteran Squad. Which makes sense for him. Again, he is one of those guys who has not become a Primaris. Now, again, the Vanguard, again, these are all sort of, I know the Vanguard haven't changed. Stern Guard are now Primaris sized. Let's see here, detachment. No. Now it makes you want to go back and look at, I wonder if it says anything on the Eldari one here. It just says leader, but it doesn't actually tell us what it can be attached to. That's good to know. So there is an example there of what they are. They can be attached to and they can't be. So yeah, I think we're going to get double-sided cards for a lot of these things just because it makes sense in just the way they're showing two sides to a card. Right? So when these cards are up for sale, whenever that may be, Grandmaster. Oh, Nemesis Dread Knight. So I guess Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight can't be a leader. So there you go. So depending on what it is, he is a character, a vehicle character, Walker, Psyker, Imperium, Grandmaster, and Nemesis Dread Knight are his keywords. So he's not a leader, though, so you won't see him leading a unit. Because I don't see him having any sort of leader ability there. That's good to know. Again, just by taking a look at this. Hey, G-Ma man, fucking hungry. How you doing, dude? Good to have you here. Good to have you here. I'm just going over some of the data sheets we've been seeing here and trying to kind of understand some of the nuances at this point. It looks like obviously some of these data sheets are missing little bits and pieces there, just looking at them. But it looks like, for instance, heavy weapons, you're going to be hitting on one less than you normally would automatically. Some of them show them having a heavy weapon and you're hitting on a 4+ instead of the normal 3+. That's a space room hit on. Again, there's little gremlins everywhere. If things aren't exactly the way they should be, I don't think 100%. You have Airman as a leader, but it doesn't show so he can be a leader of. We got his Rubric Marines. No one likes Rubric Marines, though, right? Am I right? Now it looks like obviously a lot of these data sheets we're getting or data slates will be double-sided, judging by what we're seeing on some of these things here. All right, so we got the Patriarch here. He's got his Patriarch's clause. And he's a leader. Doesn't tell us what he's a leader of. So obviously certain leader units can go with certain units. You're looking at Gabriel Seth there, which may see with Assault Squad, Tactical Squad. What was the other one? Vanguard, Assault Squad. And where was it here? Scouts. Yeah, Tactical Squad, Vanguard, Veteran. Now, here's the other thing. I'm just looking at, they were showing off Lionel Johnson there. His abilities, core, deep strike, fights first, but not leader. So I guess there's really no unit he can actually join himself to. Now, again, it could be just a something that they didn't want to put the full information out there. But if I go down here and look at, let's take a look at Gazgul again, because he's always a big guy. He's cool. See, his core, he is leader, so he will be able to join a unit, probably Mega Knobs or a Knob Squad, probably even a squad of boys. I don't know. Well, it depends on what the list is. But so again, judging by this, we could be seeing that maybe Lionel Johnson can't join a unit. I want to see if the other Primarch we have here, if we go down here, yes, he wrote Gulliman action is Oath. His faction is Oath a Moment. We're not seeing what his core is on this, right? Just the faction, but not the core. So we don't know what his core rules are. So he could be a leader. He might not be. It's hard to tell. Wow. But yeah, so that's how's your week been, guys? I should ask that now. Hopefully everybody's had a good week and a good weekend so far. But yeah, I know it's been interesting just to go over. I've been watching a lot of the videos as well that people are putting out playing 10th edition. Things seem to have been streamlined like they promised. There's still lots to remember out there, even looking at some of the rules, especially with the big characters. They have a bunch of extra aura abilities, special rules that you can decide to take. Obviously, we looked at stuff like the Space Wolves. They all have their own sagas. They have their own like their own chapter specific rules. We still don't know what all the different detachments are. We've seen the Oath of the Moment one for what was it for the Ultramarine for Space Marines, I should say there. Let's bring that back up again here. Come on. So yeah, Space Marines, what was it? Oath of the Moment faction ability. I mean, they have their the attachment is Gladius Strike Force. So you can have the Devastator Doctrine, Tactical Doctrine, and the Assault Doctrine, which are all cool, right? So Devastator Doctrine, the units eligible to shoot in turn which advance, which is good for those that can't. Tactical Doctrine, units eligible to shoot and declare charge a turn which fell back, which is great for shutting down charges against your units. And the Assault Doctrine, units eligible to declare charge and turn it advanced, right? And then, of course, you got the Oath of the Moment faction ability, which is amazing. You get to re-roll hit and re-roll wound against a particular unit that you choose in your command phase. So there's a unit you absolutely this turn have to make sure is gone off that objective. The Oath of the Moment. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be. I'm excited. I can't wait for. Obviously, we've got the core rules. I printed them out here myself. I gotta 3-hole punch them and put them in something. I'm not. I don't want to sound negative on it because a lot of the stuff I've seen has been absolutely amazing. It's really positive. But I'm not overly confident that Games Workshop is going to get its stocking issues solved before the end of the month. So I don't think I'm going to. I highly doubt I'll be able to get my hands on Leviathan, the set, before it's gone. Because I think it's going to go like that, which is unfortunate because I hope they make enough, because I think they realize this is going to be a pretty big release. It's the new edition. It's this amazing box set. Fantastic looking models. The rule book looks fantastic. All the data shades. Look into a local hobby store. Yeah, I will. But again, I think that even that goes back to Games Workshop. Will they see if you can give an expression? Yeah, I'm tempted to contact a couple local ones and see if they can get their hands on one, because I'd like to get my hands on it, because I mean the new Space Marine stuff looks fantastic. The new Tyranid stuff, don't know if I'll keep that, but it still looks amazing. The models are fantastic. This new Screamer Killer looks great. All that new anti-psyker stuff they have, even the Gaunts, the new Gaunts. I mean, these guys, I remember these old guys here that have been around forever, but the new Gaunts look just amazing. About the same size too, but the detail looks great. They've sort of added a little extra to the carapace, make them a little bit even, make them look even more savage than they already are. But yeah, and of course all the new Space Marine stuff, the new Terminator Captain, the new Terminators, the new Dreadnought, the Librarian, and the Apothecary. And I like the fact that they have an Apothecary who has no interest in actually healing people. Its interest is find weaknesses of the enemy so these Space Marines can exploit them, which is really cool. I like that. And of course, the new Stern Guard veterans look amazing. I love the fact that they kept some of the old helmets, which I think is really cool because people are doing that already. But also, I think it's trying to show that Marines are just Marines again. There's none of this, okay, well, you have to have Firstborn or you're going to take Primaris. They can't interact at all, blah, 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 blah. I still think some units will. I mean, we've seen that Primaris can go in like drop pods, and it looks like Primaris can go in Land Raiders now. Land Raider could, going through Tyranid, yeah. I don't know if they're going through that sort of thing. I think they're probably going through the dead bodies. I would not. Brings up an important question. I'm and I'm going to give you guys some homework on this. Do Tyranids poop? Because Tyranids, most units probably don't even eat anything anyway. It's just the Ripper units and the Devour units that come in afterwards, and then they just hop into a digestive pool to get digested. So I do like a tracker locks on the Captain. I get a fresh dump here. I'm just gonna have to investigate this. May find a clue to defeating this strain of the hive mind. No, I don't. So here's the thing now. Just follow my logic on this, okay? Most Tyranids don't actually eat anything, right? It's the Ripper swarms and the units that come in. They're here. It's fresh. It's the Ripper swarms that go after the planet after things dead, and they consume everything. And then they take themselves and they all dive in. Either Tyranid units have anything, they all dive back into Perla. Hello, welcome. How's it going? They dive back into digestive pools, and then the hive ships in space send down these feeder tubes that hits the digestive pools, or hit tubes that are actually coming out of the pools that go into the atmosphere, and they suck up what's in the digestive pool. And then when they're done, the planet's just this barren, lifeless rock. So that the next logical step is, well, if their ships are completely alive and they've taken up all this stuff, obviously they use most of that to create more NIDs and to, change whatever bio stuff they need to change in order to better combat what's in that area. So if they hit a bunch of planets with orcs, they're going to evolve in a certain way to fight orcs, so to get benefits from the orc genome. So the ship's no, I don't think they put it. But would that be a way to trace the hive fleet? It's like, we need to find this hive fleet. Just follow the trail of space poop. It's that way, right? So maybe if Tyranids don't poop, do their ships poop? That's an important question. Like, is there like someone like Inquisitor Cryptman, who's big in studying Tyranids? Is he like following the Tyranid hive fleets, or someone like him going, oh, look, that one ate a space marine. Oh, I think there's a bit of garb in that one. I think that's orc. Right? So I don't know. Oh, hello, Perla. How are you today? I don't think I've ever seen you on here, so welcome. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. But I actually am going to be ending it soon, unfortunately. I got to busy day tomorrow and an incredibly busy week next week, so I have to get some sleep, and it's getting late here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And like I said, I got to keep reading through the rules here to get myself sort of fully versed in all the new rules and all the changes they put out there. And hopefully soon we'll be getting data slates for not just the Leviathan stuff, but for all the Space Marine stuff. We can start building armies. I know at some point they're going to have data slates with all the points. I'm hoping that if we buy the Codex, the points will be there. I don't know if I'm going to be happy having to buy, say, Codex or the data slates and then the points separately. I mean, I get why that would be cool, because if you have to change up the points, you're simply changing up one book instead of changing all the codices. So I don't know. But I will leave it there. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you had a ton of fun. Thank you very much. I'm always I'm hopefully I'm getting better. You guys tell me. Hopefully I'm getting better at these live streams. I'm trying my best. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you very much. Keep rolling those dice, and I will see you very soon. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.